What's up, Juventini? Alberto here. Got all your Juve news already, and Juve's been doing a ton of scouting. We are going to look at the names that they have been scouting over the past couple days, and Schira also gives us the name of our main target this summer, and it might be surprising to everybody, all right? And then Calafiori, the latest with him, as Juve has eyes on him as well, and a potential player we could be sending in exchange to get the deal done. And then Allegri's future still in question, apparently. We'll take a look at the details there, and a shock return that could come if he remains. And then the Club World Cup, what Juve need to get in. The details are finally out and laid out for us, all right? Like the video, subscribe to the channel. This is the AJC. Let's rock. First things first, Dean Huijsen is attracting attention from several foreign clubs, all right? If he's receiving an offer of 30 to 35 million euros, it is reported that Juventus could consider selling the player. But the majority of the sources out there are standing firm on the fact that Juve will see Huijsen return in the summer. They do not want to ship him off anywhere, and he will remain with the team going into next season, all right? Now, as far as the only truly untouchable player at Juventus, there's only one name that gets tagged as that, and that is Gleison Bremer. However, still speculation that if a big enough offer comes in, Juve could be swayed. I reported to you guys on a few episodes here, especially over the weekend, that what I'm hearing out of Turin is expect absolutely anything, all right? Expect the unexpected when it comes to player and when it comes to coach. Nobody knows which way Giuntoli is going to move. More on that coming up in a bit. As far as Juve scouting, they have been working hard, especially over the past couple days, scouting Bologna a lot, and maybe that has ties to Motta. Who knows? But Calafiori, very much a target for Juventus. It is reported if his value is somewhere around the 25 million euro mark, that Juve would be looking to strike a deal. Yes, they're going to have competition, mainly Milan, but also Roma, very much looking at Calafiori to try and bring him back to Roma. But Juve could be using a player as a counterpart, and that player would be Facundo Gonzalez, who we picked up on the cheap in the summer, all right? He is on a loan in Serie B for Sampdoria, all right, and doing well there. But I usually don't like giving up young, high-potential talent in deals that aren't necessarily expensive when we have other players to sell. However, this one you could see making some sense, because we can't have a roster of all high potential guys that may or may not pan out, and Calafiori is pretty much ready and plays in that position. He also has the versatility to play somewhere else at the back as well, out wide. For me, I would pull the trigger on this move. Calafiori, Facundo Gonzalez used in exchange, yay or nay? Hit me in the comments. As far as another Bologna player Juve has been scouting, Lewis Ferguson, and that is who Schira says today is our main target. For me, underwhelming to hear his name as the top target, all right? Good season, strong season he's having and everything. But for me, another team that we are actively scouting, even over these past couple days, last night, Genoa, Gudmundsson and Frendrup are two players we are looking at. I actually put Gudmundsson ahead of Lewis Ferguson. So interesting to hear that Lewis Ferguson is our main target from Nico Schira, all right? But I actually do put Gudmundsson ahead of him. Agree with me, disagree? Hit me in the comment section, all right? Now, as far as Giuntoli goes, which way he's going to decide with players, it could go any single way. We have no idea what he's going to do, but a lot of fans do have this concern that we are going to be pushing and tipping that scale to the young side, and we already are. Well, today the reports come in that we are looking to balance things out with some experienced players. All right, now Anderson, Vecino, and Bonaventura are three of the names associated with some experienced players that could come in as depth options, protecting us from scenarios like we saw on the weekend with Nonje coming in and picking up a PK in a critical moment for Juventus. But Giuntoli and the experienced players, we have to wait and see. This list of experienced players, I'm not sold on. All right, Bonaventura, I think, is having a strong season. I wouldn't mind him, but the other guys, I'd like to see some stronger names in the experienced roles. But we will see what develops there. It's nice to hear that we could be balancing it out, though, because I do believe we need to do that, all right? But obviously, you want more quality put associated with those names. Now, as far as Giuntoli goes, apparently, regardless of his words pre-match against Napoli, Allegri's future very much is in question, all right? And we continue to hear that nobody knows which way Giuntoli is going to lean towards the end of the season and if he is going to make that coaching change. Reports today suggest there is one certainty, and that is that Giuntoli does admire and like Thiago Motta and the work he is doing. So more speculation that this is the moment if you truly in fact want to move towards Motta, because he is getting so much interest and a team probably is going to make a move and strike for the manager, all right? So this is essentially what it comes down to. Do you remain with Max? Do you bite the bullet, pay him out, and pick up Motta now before losing him to another club? So it's going to be interesting to see what Giuntoli decides. If Allegri remains, there is a wild rumor associated with a return of Alvaro Morata for a third stint at Juventus, as his contract expires in 2026, but he could be picked up for 20 million euros, all right? Would you want Alvaro Morata back? Yes or no? Hey, we were just talking about experienced players, but you want the quality up? I'm so against returns and everything like that, but I have always liked Morata. I might sway because he's also having a very strong season. When we talk about experienced players, that list we had was underwhelming. Morata's not necessarily an underwhelming name as an experienced player. What do you think? Hit me in the comments. And last, certainly not least, Club World Cup has teams losing their heads. You're seeing De Laurentiis filing appeals to keep Juventus out of it before his team even plays in the second leg against Barca. We now know the details of what Juventus needs. We have eyes on Napoli and Lazio. Lazio pretty much has to win the competition, though, to surpass Juventus, so it's highly unlikely that anything's going to come from that. But Napoli, this is a real concern for Juventus. The shame is we can do nothing but sit back and watch. If Napoli, they need to get past Barcelona and then apparently get one win in the next round, and they would surpass Juventus and take Italy's second spot for the Club World Cup, all right? So we have to essentially get Napoli out, hope they bounce immediately, and Lazio just bounce out at some point, all right? So there you have it, and this is going to be big money. Like I said, 50 million euros just to be a part of it. That is why teams are losing their heads over it, and especially in Italy and De Laurentiis. But for Juventus, this would be a massive, massive boost. So, fingers crossed, Barca gets the job done and bounces. Napoli and Lazio bounce out at some point, all right? We'll wait and see. But that wraps up your news break to today. You guys know the drill. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, but hit me in the comments with everything you think about the news you just heard today, and I'll be back tomorrow with another update. As always, fino alla fine, forza Juve. Ciao tutti.